What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in again for another episode of Silver Screen and Chill. My name is Matt.
And I'm Daniel.
And I'm Ian.
And this week we're going to recap the Oscars a little bit, talk about everything that went down last Sunday. And then we're going to talk about a couple trailers, some big trailers that come out, Finding Dory, Cloverfield, Ghostbusters. And then just, as always, give you our Netflix picks. So let's kick this thing off.
All right, let's talk the Oscars. I thought it went very well. Chris Rock did an excellent job.
Killed it.
His opening monologue really played both sides of the card. The no pun intended, the race card, but it attacked the problems that were there with the lack of ethnicity in nominated actors, but it also attacked Jada Pinkett Smith.
Oh yeah, Jada Pinkett
Smith. Saying, "Hey, you weren't
invited, so how can you boycott it?"
So what do you get upset for?
Yeah, so I thought that was great. And he made fun of all the races too. It wasn't like he was in particular attacking the white. He made fun of the Asians, which
they were upset about it.
That was a little bit.
Jeremy Lin wasn't too stoked.
Yeah, but who cares?
Right. He did a really good. His monologue was good. I think you kind of have to be controversial at one point to get they want ratings, and that's what gets people to watch. That's
why they chose a good host in Chris Rock, because he really doesn't give a shit.
Pretty good that they it was a good pick on their part that they casted him in the role months in advance already. So
before that
it wasn't even the shitstorm hadn't even happened yet.
Yeah. They looked at the list and they went, "Ah, shit, it's too white. We're gonna need Chris Rock."
And did you notice he wore an all white tux too?
I did notice that.
I thought that was funny.
Looked good.
What a dick.
He did really good. His bits were funny. I liked his bit where he he went out and found a bunch of black people to ask about what of the Best Picture nominees they saw. Like, have you seen Spotlight? Have you seen Bridge of Spies? And none of them had seen any of those.
Yeah.
And then, but all of them unanimously had seen Straight Outta Compton. I think that shows what makes a good. I think what the Academy should realize is more of what makes an award-winning movie should be the wide range of audience it has. Because if you look at those movies, they're really good movies. They're artistic movies, but their audience reach isn't that wide.
Yeah.
Where Straight Outta Compton was it's like a more mainstream kind of movie, and it reached a lot of people, and I really liked that movie.
I have to slightly disagree with you about putting it to more a wider audience, because it almost then becomes just a popularity contest.
True.
Like look at things like the NBA All-Star Game. It's made for the fans, obviously. You get people voted in that probably shouldn't be voted in, but it's for the fans.
Yeah,
it's made for the fans.
Yeah.
These awards, they're not necessarily for the fans. It's more of a being recognized for your hard work.
That's
because when you do it in the wider audience, then you get things like the Avengers nominated, and Avengers are good movies. I wouldn't say they're the Best Picture of the year just because they blew up the box office.
That's a good point.
I think the Matt's point though is just, I think that with Straight Outta Compton, it was attacking issues. A lot of the Oscar movies do attack more issues.
Yeah, they do,
and stuff like that. And it was a historical movie. It had. I mean, it wasn't a complete Oscar field, like you said. It was a mainstream movie, but it had certain things. And if they bitch about not having good ratings, they shouldn't have a 3.5-hour show with movies no one's watched. So if you want more ratings, you give Straight Outta Compton the Best Picture nomination, and it doesn't win. How about that?
Yeah. But recognize that it is a good piece. But
it had. I think everybody saw The Revenant. Mad Max. I mean, that.
Mad Max.
That cleaned house, right?
That made me really happy that Mad Max took. I think it's six Oscars.
Yeah, it pretty much cleaned house.
Good. Yeah. That was an excellent.
Well earned.
Who would have thought that? Who would have thought that was going to win anything from when you first, before it came out? Who'd ever thought that was going to do so well?
Yeah, you're right.
Surprisingly, there's black people in it.
I don't think there is any black people in it, is there?
There isn't. I don't think so.
Wow. Well, but I mean, at least they get the female.
Yeah. Hey, I'm just being a dick because with everything you can. It's just like how there are people complained. I forgot what movie it was. People complained that they talked about Hoosiers. Hoosiers are like, there's no black people in Hoosiers. It's about a team from a really small white town. I mean, there's no black people in that community. With certain things, there's not gonna be black people in it, and there's not gonna be white people in the movie Spike Lee makes about this all black infantry unit. That wasn't a good movie, but
it was terrible. Miracle Team. Yeah.
But yeah, so it's just you can make anything a race issue. And with anything, you can make anything any issue.
But it's pretty obvious there is a lack of diversity in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Well, there's diversity, there's just a lack of recognizing
representation of all.
There we go, that's the word.
Representation is huge.
Yeah.
But I think this is a perfect progressive step forward, to having more different kinds of productions, more African American productions, more Latino productions, more Asian American productions.
But it's looking better. It is looking better.
It'll get there slowly but surely.
This is funny, but did you guys see the SNL skit they did with the Oscars?
I didn't see it.
They did a bunch of there was a bunch of really black movies, and then the only people that got nominated were white extras. So it's like, and the white guy who gives away the coffee. So I thought that was pretty funny. I just wanted to throw that out there.
That's great.
Let's go over some of the winners. Obviously, I think a big surprise was Spotlight taking home Best Picture.
That was a big surprise.
I was definitely thinking The Revenant.
Michael Keaton 2 years in a row has been in Best Picture movies.
Yeah.
What a resurrection of career, right?
Right.
Okay, I want to do one more random tidbit. Do you know Michael Keaton's real name is Michael Douglas? And he changed his name to Michael Keaton so he wouldn't be Michael Douglas?
I didn't know that.
I just found that out.
I had no idea. It's really interesting.
You know, that's
pretty good.
Yeah.
Michael Keaton just fits though. It's a good name.
No, it's an awesome name. But yeah, Michael Keaton killing it. Mark Ruffalo. I mean, what a great ensemble on that movie.
Yeah. But speaking of back-to-back wins, Alejandro Inarritu won 2 years in a row, second year for The Revenant, Best Director.
Two drastically different movies.
Yeah,
drastically different movies,
but he really puts a stamp on it.
Yeah, and showing, he's a perfect example of representation right there. That's a Mexican
Spanish director.
Spanish director.
Guillermo always gets him on the Kimmel show, and he always gives him some tequila.
Oh yeah, Jimmy Kimmel. Guillermo, yeah.
So nice.
Way to go for Alejandro Inarritu, proving the way for us.
He's carving his name in Hollywood, that's for sure.
Yeah, and then let's see, we got Best Actress Brie Larson for Room. I saw that coming.
That was really.
You saw Room recently,
I just recently saw it, and it was awesome.
So well deserved.
But it was very depressing. Yes, very well deserved. She did an excellent job. That little boy, though, he should have won something, or should be recognized for how damn good he did in that movie.
I saw a bunch of things just because that kid's just adorable. Like they showed him in the Oscar stuff. He's super adorable.
He did a really, really good job in that movie. And have you guys seen it yet?
I have not seen it.
Super depressing,
I have to pick it up.
but it's pretty incredible.
Let's see. I know none of us saw The Danish Girl, but we just kind of acknowledge Alicia Vikander won Best Supporting Actress for that. So congrats to her.
Well, this is off the top of your head. I'm really impressed. You have such a good
memory.
But it's an out memory.
And then I think the other big upset of the night was Mark Rylance winning Best Supporting Actor over Sly Stallone.
Well,
that was huge.
I heard there was a conspiracy against Sly Stallone, so these are always interesting.
Okay,
it's because when he won the Golden Globe, right? And he didn't think any of his black co-stars and the people that worked he didn't think Michael B. Jordan and the director, who both are black, and they didn't want that to be a controversy on Oscar night because it was already Oscar so white.
Oh, he didn't think
he didn't think the black people, so they didn't want that to be a thing.
That's interesting.
Maybe just
that's also a complete conspiracy.
Yeah.
So who gives a shit?
But he might have just been surprised, like, whoa. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it is kind of weird that he didn't think Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah, that's kind of.
But anyway,
Brie Larson thanked is it Jason or Jacob Tremblay, the little boy?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I forgot his first name.
Oh, from Room.
Yeah, from Room.
How dare you, Matt, son?
I'm sorry, but I think a lot of people were really surprised that Celestial didn't win. And Mark Rylance did a really good job. When we did our first episode of the Oscar coverage, and I said Mark Rylance, I was like, it's more Tom Hanks. Mark Rylance didn't do a good job. I guess I couldn't remember who Mark Rylance was at the time. But thinking back at it, yeah, he was a really good in that movie, in Bridge of Spies. He was really good. I think because doing the whole submission of yourself, I think to win that. His submission was there's a scene in Bridge of Spies where he has a line that he repeats a bunch, and it's super just like digs in because Tom Hanks is always talking about the kind of serious situation he's in because he's a Russian spy. He's totally a Russian spy, and Tom Hanks is always approaching him and it's like, this is gonna happen. You don't seem worried, and every time he brings up that Mark Rylance should be worried, he just goes, "Would it help?" Like it's super just. Because he's so calm and everything is just
most of what he
go to shit, and he's just like, would it help? Like he doesn't. So like that scene alone, it was really powerful performance. So I can totally understand him winning, but really shocking that.
Yeah, see, it sucks when you say stuff like, "Oh, it's shocking Sly Stallone didn't win," but this guy also deserved to win an Oscar.
Yeah, he was really good.
Like he's deserving, but
it just came out of left field. You thought it was.
Yeah, I don't know if it was as much shocking as just like. I was kind of rooting for Rocky to win an award, to be recognized.
Yeah, but I think I was saying as a lot of people were. A lot of people were like, a lot of things I saw afterwards were like, really weird how Sylvester Stallone didn't win and Mark Rylance won. Because I guess
a Golden Globe at least.
Yeah.
I don't think Stallone really cares.
I think he did actually. I read somewhere that he left after the Oscars. He kind of didn't go any after parties.
Yeah, I heard. I thought he kind of cared.
Because that has to hurt too. When everyone thinks you're gonna do something, so it kind of hypes you up, and then it doesn't go your way. I would want to go to bed.
Yeah,
do you think he did the thing where he was about to lift himself off the chair and then he had to go slowly sink back in?
Worse. I watched a long time ago the Grammys. I watched Evanescence beat 50 Cent for an award, and he was already up there, walking to get his award, and he just had to do a
I just picture the scene from Zoolander when Hansel wins, and Ben Stiller's up there, and it's everything behind him says Hansel, and he's
as great as it is to win an award or whatever, they have to remember too that. They got pretty much, in their opinion, I'm sure they got the best job in the world. So that should be an award.
And think about how many award shows they have to pat themselves on the back,
Yeah,
Exactly.
Their career, Sly Stallone's career is set. He's cemented his legacy. So.
But
go for the phone or
silence it real quick. It went off.
I thought we were just gonna ignore it.
It would go off again. It would go off again in a second, so it was too bad.
But I think the most important award, at least to all of us of the night, was Leonardo DiCaprio winning for Best Actor.
That was
really that's cool. Exactly what
the one that we're really pulling for. The guy that we've wanted to win the last 6 times he tried.
Not just us, pretty much all of America. It seemed like.
Yeah, he gets a standing ovation from all his colleagues. Every actor was standing up cheering.
And then you brought up that video that happened.
The video that everyone's going nuts. They're doing the Titanic pose in the background. Some guys lighting a bear on fire, just losing their mind. Yeah. That's how we all felt inside. It was really cool to see him win.
Yeah, because everyone was really pulling for Leo.
Yeah,
everyone.
Yeah. And the memes obviously help, and the jokes. But all that aside, why do you guys think it was so important to see him win an award?
I think it's because he's done such a good job multiple times. He's done so many epic roles that you need to see his hard work pay off. Because it's good. I think because he's also a nice guy. You want to see when you work hard, you want to see that reward for somebody. When you have a friend that's a really good person, you I really want to see good things for them. And he's just that kind of person. And it's when you hear when someone wins, it's this is the first nomination and first win for so and so, or second nomination and first win for Leo. When he won, it was first win and 6th nomination. I don't think I've ever heard that before, where they've been nominated so many times and just haven't won.
That's pretty awesome.
Oh yeah. And then for me, it's just when a lot of times in sports you see a guy and he's always considered the top player in his sport, and he never wins the most valuable player award. And it was a very similar thing for Leo. How long have we considered him the best actor in Hollywood, and he'd never been recognized. He'd never been recognized by the Academy officially.
Right.
I mean, it must be awesome to know that everyone thinks you're the best, and then finally be recognized as the best.
Absolutely.
And especially with how many roles he's done, so incredible.
And it's not just him too. Gary Oldman's never won an award. Stanley Kubrick never won an award, and he's regarded as one of the greatest filmmakers of all time.
Yeah.
But it was awesome to see Leo win. My take on looking at him win was he almost has a bit of an underdog story, and that sounds absolutely
that sounds
ridiculous, but he really does. Just because I always think back to that time in my life when I saw him as that little sissy kid from Titanic. You know what I mean? That we all were we all probably despised him just because we were secretly jealous.
Yeah, totally.
All these women were in love with him. He was in great movie, at the time not great, but he was making movies, and it was great to see somebody like that really shed that image, work his ass off, because we've all been at school or work, and you don't really get recognized that much for your hard work. You get an A, or maybe your boss goes, okay, good, that was good. But you mostly get recognized for bad things, for you failing.
Everyone notices your flops.
And it's really cool to see that somebody can really, really work hard, dedicate their life to something, and just get recognized for it. It's really cool to see, finally.
Yeah, and I think it also spoke to his character of what a nice guy he is and why everyone cheered for him. That when he won, that was his moment. He could have used it to thank everybody and just go on for a long time, but he only did a portion of it to thank people, and then the rest was to talk about climate change. It was a big social issue.
Stayed true to who he is.
Stayed humble, and he just talked about it and addressed a serious issue that he didn't have to talk about. He could have just taking the entire time to embrace the fact that he was finally recognized for his
it's awesome that he felt like he had to talk about it, though. And it's just something he surely took to heart. I mean, a guy who's a true humanitarian.
And it comes from having you have so much power and following, you need to use that for good. You know what I mean? Yeah. You can only just keep making so many movies, making so many millions, and just enriching your own life. You need to use that medium to really help out everyone else. And in his case, he helps out the animals, he wants to help the climate, everything, and it's cool. It's really cool to see.
I really liked it. And Leo, thanks for also making the dad bod popular. You know,
he loves the dad bod.
And that perfect thing with him, the super soaker, and he's like this, and he's just huge for Leo. And so thank you for making.
Get older, man. Your metabolism just.
Do what you want. You're Leo. But there's a really good video also, if you guys seen it online, of him getting his Oscar engraved. Yeah. And he's kind of like looking at it so passionately because it's like, you know, it's something he finally has. And then he's like, "Do you do this every year?" And he's like, "I wouldn't know." Like, and then he gets like the pamphlet on how to take care of it. And he goes, "Oh, it needs like taken care of. It needs like water and stuff." And like.
It needs water?
I guess like polishing.
You have to do a lot of upkeep with the award, or else it'll start disintegrating. Or I don't know, something weird. I've never won an award.
You know he's gonna take precious care of that. He's gonna polish it, put it in
someone to take precious care of it.
Oh yeah, he's got Leo money to do that.
Yeah, but before we move on from that, let's talk about when do you guys think? What is a Leonardo DiCaprio movie where you thought he should have won an award? Maybe biggest. I don't want to say snub, but maybe what was the time you said? He totally should have won an award. Because he really has a lot of those moments where he kind of got unlucky, where he was competed against someone who just did really awesome. Yeah. So what do you think?
Well, I think a movie that you love personally, I think The Aviator was a movie where he would absolutely have won the award for
my
The
pick
Aviator.
As well, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was just, he was so incredible in that movie, and he really played John Hughes.
Howard Hughes,
John Hughes.
No, don't worry. I botched. If you guys watched,
that's a totally different movie.
If anyone watched this show and they took a shot every time I botched a name, they would be plastered or dead.
Maybe you should play John Hughes.
I got this movie. It's called Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Nice.
But yeah, it's just Howard Hughes. Just a super interesting person.
Very interesting.
I mean,
Howard Hughes was. Yeah.
And they didn't even the movie, as long as it was, it didn't even get into the last part of his life, which was crazy. So
that's a movie he could have won for. Another movie that I thought that he could have done it too is Blood Diamond. I thought he was really good in that.
Really good. Blood
Diamond.
Yeah, so some people didn't like him in Blood Diamond.
Yeah, people thought that his accent was kind of off. I thought it was great.
I thought it was great too.
Yeah, but yeah. So those are mine.
I think for me it would be Django, because I know. They were both really good. They were both really strong. But Christoph has won before for like Inglourious Bastards, and I'm not saying he was ridiculously good in Django, but Leo had that presence of such a bad guy you want to hate. Stole the show. He's the kind of guy that he makes the scene more intense when he cuts his hand open and bleeds all over the place, and actually uses that injury and that mistake to just further his performance. You know, he could have easily yelled "cut." You know,
and you know what? That also boils down to not taking anything away from him. But that also boils down to just doing your job. Your job as an actor is to be in the moment.
Right.
You know, you need to be in the moment. You can't be thinking of, I need to go to Fresh and Easy after this or something. You know what I mean? You got to be in the moment, and that's what he does, and that's what good actors do. Like in that moment.
Exactly, and that's a prime example. So I think that was a year he really showed that, and unfortunately, it just didn't pay off from that year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Christoph was really good though. So.
Yeah, so and you look at the nominations, and there isn't really too much a time where you can say that he got. You can say he got robbed, but there was good talent against him. Yeah. And my pick obviously would be The Aviator as well. So those are times that we thought maybe he should have won, but hey, he won now, and
who cares? Yeah. Now all it doesn't matter. He won.
Yeah. So all those wasted jokes.
Yeah. Yeah, people. There's the memes now of seeing the folders of Leo Oscar memes, and they're dragging it to the trash.
We'll move on to Gary Oldman now.
Yeah. Or Johnny Depp.
Oh yeah, Johnny Depp too. He just gotta make. If Johnny Depp's made some good movies once in a while, he'd probably win.
I think he can win with Pirates of the Caribbean 5.
Oh boy, it's only 5, right? It's gonna be like 5.
It feels like infinity.
If it would be, it'd be the performance that or his next movie would be Johnny Depp wins Best Actor, and he would carry the performance so well that Tim Burton gets Best Director.
He should have gotten a nod for his first first Pirates for Jack Sparrow, because that was a really good role.
Yeah,
he killed it. Killed
that's
it.
A character that stuck around.
Revitalized his career too.
Yeah.
So that's our wrap. Oh, you know what? Before we move on, he actually got to do something really cool with the Oscars.
Oh yeah, I worked I got to work for the post-Oscar show for Good Morning America. You know, helping the audience get in. Yeah, I was on TV. I'll put a picture right here.
Yeah.
To show I was on TV for a second. That was cool. But yeah, it was really interesting to be across the street. It was at the El Capitan, which is right across the street from the Dolby Theater.
You've seen a lot of movies there.
Yeah, it's really awesome to see that the Oscars is this big elaborate production, because you know you see on TV when like the news outlets cover it how they're taking time to build all this stuff, but then once that's over, like I was there at midnight and there's people working nonstop ripping that stuff down. They are tearing it down because they got it's a big street that they closed down for this. But it's just crazy to think of like all this build up and then it's gone overnight. You know, it's just torn down. That was really interesting. So that was a really fun thing I got to be a part of.
Yeah, it was really cool you got to do that. So that's about it for Oscars, right?
That's about our Oscar
recap. Let's dive into trailers.
Yeah, let's do trailers. So
one's about Finding Dory.
Finding Dory. Let's jump into that. I'm really excited for this because you know, Finding Nemo is one of the big. I think it's one of Pixar's bigger, more popular movies. You know, so
there's just something to say about Pixar.
It's really tough to say that it's the biggest movie, but I almost would put it up there.
It's definitely one of. You know,
Toy Story has to be top.
Yeah,
but
Toy Story.
I almost say Toy Story just because of its stature, just because of when it came out. You know. But really, Finding Nemo was humongous. Try and think back to that time, you know.
Yeah.
But Toy Story also. So.
Toy Story and Finding Nemo are some of the only ones that have rides at Disneyland.
Yeah.
Toy Story actually has two because they have the Buzz Lightyear ride.
And
you're
right, they got
two. The Toy Story Mania
Cars
Adventure. Cars has
the
one.
best ride. Well, I would say maybe second best. Maybe even tied with Tower of Terror.
Yeah, but it's really good ride.
Yeah, and then
horrible sequel.
There's the submarine.
Finding Nemo has a ride.
Finding Nemo has the submarines. You know that ride is kind of boring actually, but it's a fun ride. But yeah, those are like the only ones that have actual rides for Pixar movies.
Yeah,
which is interesting.
It's a lot more than I thought.
So I'm excited to know it shows like Dory's actually going to be finding her family, doing all that stuff.
Yeah, that's what it's about this time, right?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah, I think it's cool. You know, Pixar has done well on sequels. I liked Monsters University.
That was good.
Toy Story 2 and 3.
That's really all the sequels except Cars 2, which was horrible.
Did they make a sequel to? No, they made a sequel to Up.
No,
they did not.
They're also coming out with a sequel to The Incredibles, but I think that's so far away now.
That's how I feel about Finding Dory, though. I feel like it's almost been too long, but maybe not. I feel like I've been hearing about this movie for seriously.
Hopefully, Ellen DeGeneres, keeps at it because I think Dory. I think the reason why they made this Finding Dory is because Ellen DeGeneres stole the show in Finding Nemo. She was such a good character.
She really was the back of this film.
Yeah, she really did. And
similar to the Deadpool thing.
And like this, it's gonna also be rated R. Finding Dory.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Dory's dark thoughts.
Like having a gun and shooting people.
I didn't want to find Dory like this. Not like this.
Oh boy! But Finding Dory, I'll see it.
I think it'll be good. I'm excited for it.
Pixar doesn't really swing and miss a whole lot, so
yeah, they really don't.
It might not be the home run that we always expect from them, but it'll be a triple.
Yeah, it'll be good.
We'll see it.
It'll be interesting. And then moving right along, let's do 10 Cloverfield Lane, right?
10 Cloverfield 10.
Cloverfield.
There's been a lot of Cloverfield that people have just missed.
Yeah. Okay, so it's called
New York's been
10 Cloverfield Lane.
Yeah.
And which is really interesting how, like Cloverfield, this trailer for this came out of nowhere and it's already coming out this week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I think the first time it was officially shown on television was a Super Bowl or something.
That's right. That's what I saw.
They didn't really tell you what it was about, and like this one,
they still don't really tell you what it's about. You know what's nuts is that John Goodman's in it.
Yeah, and you always root for John Goodman for sure. Oh, you in particular.
I am a huge Roseanne fan. I'm not even saying it sarcastically. I actually really love the show Roseanne. I think it's one of my favorite shows, and I've always loved John Goodman.
Yeah, and I think it looks interesting. The whole premise of them just being underground and how the way the music plays into it and how they seem like a happy family.
Do you guys even know what this is about? I really don't.
So the girl in the trailer, Mary Elizabeth Winstead from Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. And Sky High, if you didn't see Sky High, but she gets
somewhere. It's like yes.
So she's in like a car accident, right?
Uh-huh.
And she's in a car accident, and then John Goodman brings her into that bomb shelter with another guy, and he tells her like, hey, I saved your life because you don't want to know what's going on up there. But she's skeptical of why she's being kept down there because it's almost feels like a hostage situation or like a prisoner situation. You know, in the trailer you see her like handcuffed to keep her from escaping, and then she wants to go out and see what's up there. But you know, something's going on up there. Something. Radioactiveness or the monster from Cloverfield, the first Cloverfield.
You know what
movie
though?
Still around.
I wouldn't even be surprised if this movie had very little to do with the
Well, they say that it's not a direct sequel; it's like a cousin.
It's what it feels like.
J.J. Abrams said about
But J.J. Abrams is a good, and that's a sign of a good filmmaker. I think he knows that the other one was done. There's nothing more we can do with that film.
Yeah,
first person, basically Godzilla film. That's a great idea. Yeah. But they did it. So let's move on. You know what I mean? So
yeah, exactly.
That's I wouldn't even be surprised. Well, nothing.
Well, they show in the trailer she comes out and like I think she's in a radioactive suit and it shows the house. Or no, she's not a radioactive.
I think she goes out.
They show a house and there's something crazy.
Honestly, it probably has like the same radioactivity that the monster had, or something very small.
Yeah, I think what it would be if it's not going to be necessarily a direct sequel, it would be something that the monster has caused from being in New York. So
that would be a good idea. The aftermath of that.
Yeah, so maybe it's like this thing's in New York, so maybe they nuked everything, so everything outside is just radioactive, and that caused something.
That would be cool. You really don't see that too much, so.
So yeah, especially because if you don't want it to be a direct sequel, which I mean, I think a direct
no,
sequel.
It doesn't. But you know what? Cloverfield didn't need a direct sequel, in my opinion. It was pretty much it.
But they left it open for a sequel.
They did leave it open,
because there was like that voice message at the end of the credits. I was like, it's still alive, or whatever.
But you really didn't. Did we need another Blair Witch style Cloverfield movie? Like we really didn't. I'm kind
of glad. I don't know. I'm sort of glad that this won't be like shaky cam found.
No, it's not.
With T.J. Miller behind the camera.
It's not found footage film, is it? I think
was that T.J. Miller?
It was T.J. Miller. T.J. Miller was HUD in Cloverfield.
Yeah, my God, I can't believe that. The guy that was from Deadpool, right?
Yeah.
You know, it's cool. Like you said earlier, this movie just kind of came out of nowhere. I remember watching an interview J.J. Abrams did after Star Wars, where people were asking him questions, and he was kind of just a dick, just like. Yeah, okay. And then just let it skip. One of the questions was from, God, I think it's from the guy from, he was in Deadpool, he was the buddy, and he was also in Silicon Valley.
Yeah, T.J. Miller.
T.J. Miller, okay. He asked him, I think it was him who asked him, he goes, what's happening with Cloverfield? And J.J. Abrams, it's on an iPad, so he's looking at the questions, and J.J. Abrams just looks and goes, so you're kind of thinking, oh shit, he's done with that, he's done with that.
And then just boom, trailer for this.
And here's a trailer. Yeah. How did he find time with creating the Star Wars universe?
Think somehow figured it out. He's the best secret man in this social media age.
Him and Nolan do pretty damn good.
Well, Nolan doesn't own a cell phone, so.
Yeah, and he's not only that.
Chuck?
Out of nowhere, I don't know if you guys heard about this. I didn't know his next movie was like a World War II movie. With Tom Hardy.
Oh, really?
Really?
Yeah, I had no idea. I just found out literally like 2 weeks ago.
I just found out right now.
Yeah.
Apparently, this is common knowledge.
That's going to be awesome.
Look it up. Just like Chris Nolan, World War II.
I thought he was also doing some anime series, Chris Nolan.
Maybe he's doing like a...
Well, not like he's making an anime series into a movie.
Oh, Akira. I think it was rumored he was going to do Akira.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, but I know his next movie is going to be like a war movie.
Yeah, war movies are always really interesting because you can have some are interesting, some are really good. The last really good war movie I saw was Fury. Did you guys see that?
That was good.
With Brad Pitt and Brad Pitt, Shia LaBeouf, Logan Lerman. It's a really good movie, so I'm excited to see another good war movie.
Yeah, Shia LaBeouf was pretty good in that.
Yeah, they all. It was a good performance from a lot of people in that movie.
Getting off topic with Cloverfield, but. We're seeing it, right? When's that coming out?
Yeah, it actually comes out this week. This week.
Well, yeah.
The trailer was
it was like March
11th.
So by the time this airs, maybe we might have seen it. We'll get it up.
We'll get it up before. I'm doing better at this.
So that's Cloverfield Lane. Lane 10 Cloverfield.
10 Cloverfield Lane.
Because it's the address of the house, I believe.
Yeah, is it? Oh, actually, fun fact is they got the name Cloverfield because the production house that they made the movie off of was in Santa Monica, and the exit they get off is Cloverfield.
Yeah.
An example of they just didn't know what the fuck to call this movie. It happens. You're just like, that sounds like a cool name. So, next, we are going to talk about the big one. Ghostbusters. Who wants to start us off?
Dan can start.
Go ahead.
Oh, my hand got cut off. Alright, so... There's a lot of good people in this movie. I like Kristen Wiig. I like Kate McKinnon. I like Melissa McCarthy.
Leslie Jones.
Leslie Jones. We already did this once. I forgot her name again. And then the guy who did Bridesmaids actually did this movie.
Yeah,
so,
Paul Feig.
Paul Feig. So I'm rooting for this movie, but when I saw the trailer, just I don't know, man. It didn't have that special Ghostbusters feel. It feels like they're kind of trying hard to make it be real Ghostbusters-y. So I don't know. I'm still rooting for it. It's only been one trailer. But I don't know. I don't know about it so far. How about you, Matt? What do you think?
I want to be skeptically hopeful for it, but the trailer just didn't do.
Skeptically hopeful.
That's heavy. The trailer didn't wow me in any way. Some things I did like about it. I like how the ghosts look. They look kind of like, it's newer CGI graphics, obviously, so they look pretty cool. Actually, I like that. I love the look of how I think Kate McKinnon's character is going to be. She looks super cool.
She's great.
She's got like the crazy hair. She's got the goggles. She's got like those badass ghost pistols. Her character looks the most interesting so far and like different. But what kind of sucks is I feel like everyone else, their characters are kind of the same. Kristen Wiig is like almost like always the smart awkward person where it's like I don't know.
Melissa McCarthy.
Melissa McCarthy is just the person who has to get hurt or does something.
Chris Farley.
Yeah, wow, she has to get hit. She has to mess something up or whatever. And then Leslie Jones, I mean, she has to scream everything. That's what it feels like. She has to like yell like
Al Pacino.
Like the power of Patty compels you and slap like her own. And I was like I feel like they're all really good. I like them all, and it's like
that's
a lot of things where I saw where it's like a lot of the criticism is because it's an all-girl Ghostbusters. Like, that's not my problem with it. My problem is a lot of them stick to like the roles that they're usually been, and only Kate McKinnon stands out.
Yeah,
and
Kate McKinnon's
she's great. I'm really excited for that. And another thing, I don't know how I feel about it being like a complete reboot of the Ghostbusters. I think is what it is. So it's like starting all over again. I would have liked it to be like, if they've studied all that stuff for them, especially because Dan Aykroyd was really fighting to get this made, like showing him like kind of passing the torch on, get touch the old fans like in that way.
Kind of go into the studio, they kind of go into there and blow off dust off the Ghostbusters thing, like something corny.
Something like that. I would have liked that.
Yeah, okay. Well, after we lost Egon, we just knew that we weren't getting,
Oh yeah, you're not getting.
We're not getting a true sequel.
Yeah, getting a reboot.
So, anything else you want to add?
No, that's just how my take on it so far. I mean, like I said, I really want it to be good, and I hope
everyone's rooting for it.
Yeah.
Well, you hope every movie's gonna be good.
Yeah.
So.
Not sometimes.
You hope a movie's bad? Do you ever really go to a movie and go, I hope this movie sucks? Do you really do that?
I do that, and I'm like, I know this movie's gonna suck.
But do you hope it sucks? I'm always hoping maybe it'll wow me.
I hope it sucks so I can be right. I want to be right.
At least you're honest.
How about you, Ian?
This movie, to me, doesn't look any worse than any other shameless reboot of a franchise that you don't need to be rebooted. Do you know what I mean?
I was expecting more shit.
It doesn't look... It really doesn't look any more terrible than other shitty Hollywood remakes. We've all seen them. The pointless remakes, reboots... And you're just like, this just looks like a money grabber. And it kind of looks that way. Like you guys already said, all the actresses are fine. I root for all of them to do well. This has zero to do with, obviously, the internet's pissed about the female casting, which...
I thought they'd be over.
That's
whatever. You're getting an all-female cast of Ghostbusters, who cares? We're getting another Ghostbusters.
We've known about this for a while now.
Yeah. And I'm going to have to completely disagree with you. I think the ghosts look like shit, in my personal opinion.
I think they actually look interesting.
I liked how they looked in the old movie. I thought they looked good.
Corny and...
I liked that. It's dated, obviously. But the trailer, it didn't do much for me, to be honest. It doesn't look terrible. Doesn't look great. It just looks mediocre.
I think it's rough to swallow because Ghostbusters was such an iconic 80s
For whatever
movie.
reason, this movie is nostalgic for generations, and that shouldn't make sense.
Yeah.
But it is, and it holds a special part in all of our hearts, and that's very strange. Not all movies do that, but it really does. All three of us love Ghostbusters.
It's an 80s movie. We weren't born until...
Yeah, and it's a really good movie. And the actors are just... In the Ghostbusters franchise, the actors are all really good.
Yeah.
You got Bill Murray at the helm for the Ghostbusters movies.
Just another thing, like you said, like a movie that shouldn't have stood the test of time, that did stand the test of time.
Yeah, it's a really good... I love Ghostbusters. But let me say something else. That's the only good Ghostbusters movie, in my opinion, is Part 1. Part 2 isn't very good. I don't think it's good. I really don't like Part 2.
I don't hate Part 2. I
don't really like it, though. It's not that great. So, if this one sucks, I don't really care. Because Ghostbusters 1 will always be there. So you can always look at it. I don't get why people get so in an uproar like they're ruining the franchise. How can a movie be ruined by like a sequel? You can say Matrix 1 was kind of lessened by the next two. But Matrix 1 is still there. You can still watch it and, see it how you want to see it. If you want to put those other two out of your mind, don't think about it. And the same with this Ghostbusters.
I guess it's kind of hard to do in a sense, though, because it's like, yeah, Matrix is really good, and it's like, I think what the thing with sequels is you want to see the story progress more. So when you see it happen, it's like, I wish the story didn't progress into that.
Yeah, that is a good point. That's a very good point. But this is a reboot, right? I think. This is a reboot.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a reboot. They mentioned like 30 years ago, blah, blah, blah. But I think that's to get you attached to like what it is. Yeah. But it's not going to be connected.
I accidentally had the unfortunate experience of spoiling something for this movie. I don't want to say what it is to spoil for you guys. But I looked on IMDb, and I looked at the cast list. And someone is going to be in this movie that's pretty cool. But I don't know how they're going to do it. I think I know how they're going to do it. But I don't know how good it'll be. But my pretty much opinion on it is this whole movie is like any other shameless remake. You can get all these good actors, but if you got a piece of shit script, who cares?
I think the part that solidified that feel for me, which I kind of agree with you on that the part that does it for me specifically in the trailer is the panning shot of all four of them like pulling out the blasters and shooting. That whole thing was like, man, that feels really like Hollywood can't be rebooted.
It is. It is. It's like. And you can just not care about a product and slap a classic name like Ghostbusters on it, and it doesn't make it any better. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it does not.
So it just, first of all, I don't think it needed to happen, but it's happening. So let's. I'm hoping it'll be good, but it doesn't look that great to me.
And the thing about the script too is that it's just a thing that you hope was going to be good because it was a guy who wrote Bridesmaids, a wonderful.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe I'm alone.
He did Spy too. Did you guys see Spy? Did you guys like it?
Oh, he did Spy. I didn't see it, but I heard.
I thought Spy was really funny.
Wonderful reviews.
And for being Melissa McCarthy being female Chris Farley getting hurt, I actually thought Spy was really good. Yeah. She was pretty good in Spy.
Yeah, everybody's pretty pissed about Ghostbusters on the internet.
I think
it's also the first trailer, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, but sorry, go on.
The trailer right now on YouTube's got it's got more dislikes than likes, but I think I think the dislikes outweigh the likes like 2-1. It's ridiculously disliked.
Yeah, it's pretty disliked, and I think that's kind of already the biased opinion of it. I think they already went in knowing it was going to suck, and then everybody was saying like, "Oh, look at the first Ghostbusters trailer; it's way better." It's really not. It's really not a good trailer either, but it was still a great movie. So, I don't know, just another shameless Hollywood cash grab, to be honest.
At least Slimer's back.
Is he back?
He's back. He's in the trailer.
No, I don't even remember that.
He's there for a quick
Did you guys think any of the jokes were that funny? I might have.
When Kate McKinnon's waiting there with the hat.
With the hat? Okay. So maybe the script is good, and I'm just being a cynical bastard. But I didn't really laugh too much. But
that one joke. That's another reason why I think Kate McKinnon's the standout and why I'm hopeful still.
You also liked how they had different weapons, right?
Yeah. That's another thing I think that's cool, like interesting, and new take to have is that they all have different kind of weapons. You know, they have the regular proton packs, and then Kate McKinnon has like the guns, and then Melissa McCarthy looks like she has like either like a taser or something that she like punches with. That looked cool. So I mean, new ways to do that is interesting too. Mm-hmm. So I'm looking forward to.
I'm already seeing some controversy also with they said. What's the actress's name? She plays the black actress.
Oh, Leslie Jones.
Leslie Jones. Everybody's saying that she's kind of racially already like stereotyped. You know, or like she's already following a stereotype.
Yeah.
Black actresses have to play.
Oh yeah, she strapping a cat.
I don't remember if it was Winston very.
He was a black dude in the 80s. Of course he was.
Was he? Okay, I don't really. For some reason, can't really remember.
I don't feel like he was.
I didn't think he was. For some reason, maybe it's. I'm just not remembering it clearly, but I don't remember him being like
too big of a
typical stereotype.
I don't know. She feels like that right away. I think it's more in the way she acts her lines out and her joke. If all her jokes are gonna be her screaming and over exaggerating stuff, that's super not
cliche.
Cool. I'm not gonna be a fan of that.
Sick of, but wow, we really didn't rip it a new one like I thought we were, and I'm kind of glad.
I think it's because we still really deep down like Ghostbusters, and we just
I like Ghostbusters.
Want it to be good. We want to root for Ghostbusters,
and I think I like all those actresses.
And it's an underdog. And it's an underdog story. This movie was already getting bad reviews before a trailer was ever even.
Yeah.
Once we heard it was an all-female cast, everybody just shit the bed. They were pissed. Oh my god, I can only imagine. But who cares?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't care. As long as you got a good product out there, whatever.
Yeah, so hopefully Paul Feig and the girls proves wrong. Prove the internet wrong and come out swinging, because that would be great.
It's not looking good, though. That. It's looking like we're going to get another 3D shitty movie. But let's hope it's good.
We'll see.
And I think that will wrap it up for the trailers.
Yeah.
Right, so let's go into Netflix.
Netflix picks. Who wants to start us off here?
I'll start off since I always go last. I'm going to choose the documentary The Nightmare. I don't know if you guys have ever experienced something called sleep paralysis.
Yeah.
Oh man, we had long talks about
this movie is entirely about that experience and people who have battled it for many years. Sleep paralysis is horrifying. I've had terrible experiences where you're asleep, but you're awake in your mind.
Yeah.
And you see what they call shadow men. I've seen them, and they approach you, and it's very scary. And this documentary deals with all that. And they do it in a way where you guys ever watch those ghost shows like on Discovery Channel where they kind of have it reenacted?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They do the same thing, but they do it really, really well in this movie and scary. I was sitting here watching it getting scared. Okay. It was really good. The Nightmare. Check it out.
I had sleep paralysis once, and that freaked me out.
I get it a couple times a month, and it's very scary. Oh, yeah, I get it often. Very often.
I haven't got it since I was younger.
I had it once, and I felt like I woke up and someone was like sitting on me, and I was trying to scream for help.
They call it the old riding the old hag or something like that, where they used to believe it was a witch who was sitting on your chest. When you think about that, you start getting scared. Yeah, it's scary. You think you're dead. I thought I was dead the first time. Like I thought I died. I was like, oh well, like this is
that's
creepy.
Yeah, but The Nightmare, it's really good. Really good documentary. Check it out.
I'm gonna recommend, because I'm gonna start watching it right now, is Judd Apatow's new series Love on Netflix.
It's getting pretty good reviews.
It's got a good cast. It's got Gillian Jacobs. I like her from Community. She's really good. And Paul Rust?
Yeah.
Paul Rust. I haven't seen him in anything since I Love You, Beth Cooper, and that wasn't very great.
He played a 4-year-old high school student.
Yeah, it looked really weird. But I'm hoping he does well. I've heard a lot of good things about it, so I definitely want to check it out. Judd Apatow hasn't really let me down much. I wasn't a huge fan of This Is 40.
Yeah, he's been letting me down a lot lately.
This Is 40 wasn't that great, but I mean, I can't think of much else.
You watch Girls? I
don't watch.
He does Girls. And
he does Girls. I assume so. He's married to what's her name?
Leslie Mann.
God damn it. But Gillian Jacobs was actually on Girls, and that's how they got the idea for her.
Oh, really? This. Okay. Yeah. So I'm definitely gonna start that. So I'm definitely worth checking it out.
Okay, for me, I'm going it's an old show now, but I just got into it. It's Comedy Bang Bang. It's on IFC usually, but it's also on Netflix. It's just a fake talk show with a lot of famous people. In the first few episodes, you get Zach Galifianakis, you get John Hamm, you get Paul Rudd, some really good guys, and it's a really offbeat, like deadpan type of talk show, and it's so random. I can't even go into explain it. I just really recommend you guys watch it. It's only 20 minutes at a time.
Is this an old show or is this a fairly new show?
It's been on for 5 seasons.
Oh, okay, so it's about...
So you got some time to catch up to what's going on currently. So.
And you say it's very deadpan humor?
Yeah.
So if Jason Bateman was on the show, he would pretty much kill it.
Yes. I think he's on season 4. So
he should be on a show because man, a master of deadpan.
Yeah, Arrested Development.
What did my favorite moment of his in Arrested Development when he talked about when George Michael's talking about the man egg, and he goes, Dad, you okay? And he goes, I don't feel so good. Staring at me. So Comedy Bang Bang.
Yeah, Comedy Bang Bang.
Isn't that a podcast too?
It is a podcast. I listen to the podcast. Podcast is kind of like, it's an action. It's more of a real talk show.
You have been the master of podcasts lately. He's always telling me all these podcasts he listens to.
It's great. It's really funny. I don't really listen to music all that often. I listen to podcasts. I go to my homers. Like I listen to Brand New, and I listen to some of the other stuff that I've always listened to. But yeah, I really enjoy podcasts. I love people talking and picking their brains about certain things. I want to be successful.
That's why we do this.
That's
why you're in 2 of them.
Yeah,
the Lake Take.
Lake Take.
SoundCloud. He talks Lakers and basketball.
Yeah, totally.
But no one's watching the show anyways right now.
No one's listening or watching.
Yeah, when you're watching this, make sure you watch the Lake Take.
In about 3 years, you guys will be like, oh my god, no one's watching this awesome show.
And no one's watching any of my shit. But you know, I got
it takes time.
I got a portfolio now.
Yes, he does.
We're going and this guy's giving us some ideas to go to VidCon. So
VidCon.
Maybe VidCon this year. Yeah.
Maybe.
So Comedy Bang Bang.
Comedy Bang Bang. Comedy Bang Bang. Love. The Nightmare.
Nightmare.
Definitely things worth checking out. So hopefully you give it a watch. All right. So I think that pretty much wraps it all up for this time of Silver Screen and Chill. Thanks for joining us, and we'll catch you at another time.
We'll see you. What does he say?
I'll see you then. I will see you at another time.
Peter's very confusing. Are you hanging out or not?
We'll see you eventually.
Comedy Bang Bang.
Ian, we'll see you later.
I'll see you. Yeah.